wearing the black. Starting lineup, Darian Slade, Ty McGee, who leads this league in scoring per game, Stephen Julian III, and Trey Landers. Our head coach is James Willis, another legend, back as the head coach. Old Trapper, clearly the best. We start each game with a throwdown, and it's the Wrath who come away with it in the black, Ty McGee. Now the rules in slam ball, there's 4 ways to score. 3 points for a slam dunk. That's the easiest way. That's what everyone's going to be going for. Here's Ty McGee, goes up, no good. If he had made that shot from inside the tramp, that would have been a 2 if he didn't put his hand on the rim. Outside the tramp, it's a 3-point shot. Outside that arc, that's a 4-point shot. Going up and throwing it down. Our first dunk, Alonzo Scott, 3-0, the Slashers lead. Great connection right there. Great read by Tony Crosby to keep his peripheral vision open and see the cutter streaking down the sideline there. Oh, McGee faked everybody out. We have not seen that move, Coach, yet today, this game. He's a dangerous man, and he can beat you in a lot of different ways, inside and outside of the slam zone, that's for sure.
You know, Coach, we were talking before the game. It seems like offenses are trying to kind of implement a little bit more of what the mob does, and that's utilizing lanes and cuts and getting that stopper off balance.
Yeah, it is, and it's a very effective system. Timing on the cuts is the most important thing, and that's the toughest thing to coach and to execute. So even though teams are starting to do it now, I think you're going to see Mob stay a little bit ahead of the game there for the next few weeks.
We play 5-minute running quarters here in slam ball. The clock will only stop on a face-off, and both teams will get 1 timeout each in the 4th quarter. Here's 5'6", Tony Crosby, throws it to himself. Get out of here. Rejected by Trey Landers. Quick coming the other way. Here's Ty McGee, off one, bouncing in.
And that's the problem sometimes with bringing your stopper up into the offense, is if there's a quick turnover or a quick stop, it can easily lead to a score on the other end.
You have to let the player go once they enter the tramps. You're not allowed to touch them or else that'd be a violation. Crosby just lost it. McGee coming the other way. Triple teamed, it doesn't matter. But they bumped him too late. He'd already left his feet entering the scoring zone, so that's going to be a violation. And JD, our first face-off of the night.
I love it. Look, the Slashers, you have to stop Ty McGee, and here we go. Ty McGee in the first face-off of the night. John, I don't even know who he's going against right now, but I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Ty McGee.
He's going against Amir Smith. He's a good stopper.
And he stops him. Shuts down Ty McGee. You know what? That might be the little bit of the momentum shift that they need right now to kind of turn this thing around.
Fantastic stop right there.
After a face-off, the team who had the ball on the face-off keeps possession. He's on the island. Slade's allowed to stay there for no longer than 3 seconds. Up at the rim, no good. Carson's the good D with the Slashers. Scott bumped when he left his feet, so that means he's going to have a chance at a face-off. Alonzo Scott will go one-on-one against Greg Helt.
Watch out for Scott. He is an excellent attacker. He goes hard at the rim.
You think he goes quick or he goes high?
He goes both.
All right, first face-off with the Slashers, Alonzo Scott.
He quicked him right there.
Coach, I feel like in face-offs, you only got 2 options. Get really, really high or go quick.
Yeah, you do, and some of the better players can actually quick high. They can actually, Darius Clark can do this, where you go in real quick and then you punch and you go as high as you can, and that really throws the stoppers off.
Carson's, that's a 4-point shot.
You see him in practice. Ever since he had those 2 in the game a couple weeks back, he wants nothing more than to be an outside shooter.
McGee with the windmill on Carson's head. What makes Ty McGee so good?
He just has it all. Like, his ability is absolutely incredible, and it was on display early. Wow. What a dunk by Alonzo Scott right there, John.
Body to body. Scott slams it home as the Slashers with a 3-point lead. Slade coming the other way. Carson's with the block. Helt keeping it alive from his stomach. McGee lost his mouthpiece, but still gets it in, and he is going to be down. Hit in the face. They're going to continue playing. Coming the other way, and a popcorn is called. A popcorn is when one player stops the bounce from the other player. And that's a violation now because that's the second foul against the Wrath this quarter. That's going to be 2 points for being in the bonus.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a bit of a drift by Carshins here. Probably should have been called there.
So explain what a drift is, Coach.
So when the stopper's not going completely up and down, and when he's drifting outside of his stopper's box, that's a violation. Players can get injured doing that.
So McGee's got some blood leaking. He's got to come off the floor and get tended to. He said, ref, if you don't see the blood.
Exactly. And Ty McGee, I mean, coming into training camp, he was amazing in his very first 3 days there, so much so that I think I mentioned Josh Carlson and the Lava had the #1 overall pick, and they actually were thinking about taking Ty McGee after only seeing him for maybe 3 or 4 days.
There's Tony Crosby. Helt. Freestyling off the backboard, throws it in. Now, Helt was just traded to the Wrath this past week, so he's still getting acclimated on this team.
Yeah, he is, and they threw him back there at stopper in the first game that he played in. It's nice to see him back out there at gunner. He's very creative, and that's the type of thing he brings to the game right there.
He was on the Lava, got traded away to the Wrath, and now he's making his presence felt. Darian Slade throwing up high for Nick Parks. We have a 20-second shot clock on each possession. This is Helt. Turnaround jumper, left it short. Under 40 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Laubacher, a little crossover, a little handles from the track star from Oregon. Smith, and he is denied by Landers.
Landers is playing extremely well tonight. I've not seen him play at this high a level at the stopper position yet this season.
Slate faking everybody out, throws it off the glass. That's good for 2, and the Wrath are down by 2. Final seconds here in this first quarter. Smith takes a peek at the clock. He wants to hold for the final shot. Carson sets the screen. Smith, he'll use it. Enters into the top tramp, going at the rim. And a good job by Trey Landers, Coach. He's been big for the Wrath.
He's having a great night. I mean, he looks like he has a lot of energy. He looks like he's ready to play. I mean, the Wrath know what's on the line. That 2 seed and the bye is like gold.
Leading scorer in SlamBall. Ty McGee showing you what he does, but Alonzo Scott, caught a body. Nighttime on the Las Vegas Strip. We are just moments away. We are inside the Cox Pavilion here on the campus of UNLV. Start of the second quarter. The Slashes with a 2-point lead, and we start this second with a foul.
I can't tell you how critical that is from a strategic perspective, because when you give up a face-off early on, now it's violation points for the entire second quarter. Huge advantage to the Wrath right there.
Darian Slade at 6 feet out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, will go one-on-one against Bradley Laubacher, 6'3", out of Bend, Oregon. Oh, he's going fast. He's going fast, and Laubacher caught him.
Put his body on the line right there. Good job, Bradley Laubacher.
When he took off, John, it looked like it was over, but Laubacher came out of nowhere.
Hey, Laubacher went straight up and went high, right when you talk about drifting, which Coach mentioned earlier. If that stopper can just get under the hoop and jump high and match height, there's nothing they can do. You're between the ball and the basket.
McGee enters from the wing, bounce down into the bottom tramp, and it's just too easy for Ty McGee.
Yeah, you saw he just got Carson completely off balance.
So 2 in the same tramp, that's a turnover. McGee behind the back, loses his defender, bounce down at the rim, quick jump in, and Amir Smith was there to meet him.
Yeah, Slashers put Amir Smith in to play stopper there.
Now the players are throwing it to themselves because you can't jump from one tramp to the next without releasing the ball. And a wipe out in the bottom scoring zone, and that's going to be a violation against the Slashers. Brendan, you're one of the original coaches of SlamBall. You were there from the beginning with the mob. How have you seen the game develop?
Well, the big jump was between season 1 and 2. In season 1, everybody was playing checkers. A lot of people were trying to send their gunners directly at the rim versus the stoppers. Season 2, it became much more of a misdirection game. And how do we try to strategize to get the ball around the stoppers and attack them that way?
How about in this latest generation of slam ball?
Yeah, it's a lot more up-tempo. I think we have better athletes. They're better conditioned. I still think that the legendary athletes probably have a little bit of an advantage inside the slam zone, but you can see the game developing. A lot of players these days are higher, faster, quicker, better passers, better shooters. So I think give them another year and they'll surpass the old guys.
All right, time for another face-off. Alonzo Scott, one-on-one against Trey Landers. Coach, who you got?
I got Alonzo Scott.
Okay.
And that was a perfect example of get high.
That's right.
Quick.
Yeah. Scott is an exceptional attacker. He's one of those guys that's out here every single time the court is open. You can't get him off. You'll find Pat Graves flip a day, and then you'll find Alonzo Scott.
He was also a guy that missed the end of training camp, right? So there might be a little attitude if he's always playing catch-up, always trying to prove himself.
Tony Crosby the second. What a takeoff from the top tramp. You can't stop him.
Excellent set play right there called by Coach Fletcher and the Slashers. Just a little screen and a wheel cut freed Tony up to go attack.
A 5-point lead for the Slashers. We played almost 2 minutes here in the second quarter. McGee looking for a cutter. Decides that he'll now take it himself. Oh! He got an assist and a dunk on that one.
One thing Ty McGee is so good at is reading bounce differential with the stopper. He watches the stopper's feet as he comes into the scoring bed, and if he has him, he doesn't hesitate.
Oh, Amir Smith found a body to jump on.
I tell you what, and you look at Ty McGee, his wingspan and height, he is an enormous dude.
He also doesn't mess around. He comes right at the rim. He makes the stopper guard him, and there's Greg Helt. The outside shot, our first 4-pointer of the game. Scott off the big bounce, and another good stop by Landers. Outlet pass is to McGee. He'll find Helt. He just hit down that 4-point shot. Steven Julian out to Helt. He just hit one, and from the same spot, running it back.
That's the one thing you know Greg Helt can do at a high clip. You've got to get a body on him, and you've got to get a hand up.
The Raft take a 2-point lead, and Crosby takes the lead back for the Slashers.
I don't want to say Tony's having a slow night. He's got 11 points, but I want a little Tony time. I need a little highlight out of him.
Uh-oh, they left him open. There's Helt, and he bricked it. 1:30 to play here in this first half. Scott, you can't touch the player once they've left the 4 into the tramp zone. And because that's the second foul this quarter in the bonus, the Slashers automatically with 2 points.
Yeah, you got to get out of the way right there. You're inside the 4-point line. That's a clear indicator just to get out of the way and let the man enter. You've done your job, and he's off balance.
Laubacher, he'll throw the alley-oop, and Crosby, you can't grab the rim before you throw it in. Violation. He tried it, though.
He did. He can't stand not dunking the ball, so he's going to do whatever it takes.
Helt getting a lot of the defensive attention now after knocking down 2 threes. He'll kick this one out to Julian. Julian will take a mid-range jumper off the window. You're allowed to do that, but you can't grab the rim like that.
No, missed call right there, but you are allowed to goaltend off the tramps for sure.
Once you leave the tramp zone, you have to reset off the wall. What a pass to Laubacher, the assist for Crosby. But nobody's with them. Ty McGee makes him pay. 15 seconds, and it's Smith.
Now somebody's got to cover back and stop it for the Slashers because Smith is up.
Here's McGee. He's fouled from behind. Illegal contact, and because that's the second personal, Rath automatic 2 points. The clock stops. 4 seconds to play here in this quarter. Here's McGee. You know he's going to try to take it himself. No, it's Landers getting in on the action.
Wow.
And he beats the buzzer from downtown. A 4-point shot for Trey Landers, and the Raft with a 1-point lead at the half. McGee. He leads all scorers with 21 points. Tony Time had himself a strong first half. He had 11 points, but it was Scott leading the way for the Slashers. He has 14. It's the Wrath by 1 after the first half. Welcome back inside the Cox Pavilion. We're at the half. The Wrath. The score has now been adjusted. They now have a 3-point lead. Now, the reason for that, the referees went back to the monitor and they realized they should have called a goaltend on Stephen Julian's shot from the Tramps. We saw when the player grabbed the rim and the ball was basically halfway down. They corrected it. They went back. They gave him 2 points. So the Wrath with a 3-point lead. Welcome back here courtside alongside John Dornbos, Brendan Kirsch, head coach for the Mob. I'm John Schriffen. Coach, what did you think of that first half of the Wrath?
I think that was one of the most entertaining slam ball halves that I've seen all season. Both of these teams know what's on the line. That 2 seed and the bye in the first round of the playoffs is like gold, and you can see it with both of these teams play.
JD, I know you like guys the stopper play, but we also saw some outside shots falling down.
Helt was knocking down some bombs, but hey, the Slashers knew they had to stop Ty McGee. Clearly that hasn't happened. Hey, they've contained with the 21, but not enough to where they take the lead. So they got to come up big and shut this guy down.
All right, take a look at some of the highlights from that first half. We start with the Slashers. And you know it's Tony time when we talk to the Slashers. Tony Crosby, the second coach, he comes to play every night.
He does, and he's so quick to the rim when he wants to be. That's what's hard to stop as the stopper, is reading his timing and his quickness coming off that top bed.
All right, JD for the Wrath. Ty McGee, 21 points in that first half.
He's unstoppable. I mean, everything he does it with confidence. He does it with swag. He's a leader on the team. He got banged up a little bit, went to the sideline, and thank God he hasn't been out long. He's back in the game, and he's going to keep dominating.
Let's take a look at the head-to-head matchup. Crosby, McGee, and so far McGee is winning that matchup. 21 points in that first half. 7 of 8 from the floor. He has been efficient.
He has, and the Slashers are now relying on Tony Crosby a little bit more to distribute the ball than they were earlier in the season. So you may see his points per game drop a little bit, but you're going to see an uptick in maybe his assists.
So we start each half with a throwdown. Let's see who will get the first possession here to start this third quarter. They try to clear out bodies, get some space to get to the ball, and the Slashers track it down. Here's Amir Smith. You're allowed to stand on that island with the ball, but you got to get off within 3 seconds. Lawbacher did not beat the shot clock. So the first possession is a turnover. Here comes Slade. And a quick jump by Stephen Julian. Wrath come out with an opening dunk here to start this third quarter.
Yeah, great pass there on the wing cut, and good to see Stephen Julian back. He's been injured for a couple games, first game back, and he's a difference maker for the Wrath.
Coach, if you're with the Slashers, what would you have said at halftime? What kind of adjustment would you have made?
You know, I think they're doing a great job running their stuff offensively. I think the only thing they need to do is maybe pick up their stopper play just a little bit, and I think they're going to be absolutely fine.
Now, they've been eating up a lot of clock, back-to-back shot clock violations to start this third quarter.
They have. I mean, sometimes when you come back after the break, you're trying to get your offense back in a rhythm, and slam ball is such a timing-based game. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes.
So McGee is fouled as he enters into the scoring bed. That's going to bring up our first face-off here in this third quarter. You go one-on-one against the guy who fouled you. Ty McGee, Alonzo Scott, JD.
I'm going Ty McGee, baby.
Ty McGee all day.
Oh, let's see if you guys are correct. Man, that was too easy.
Circa needs to put some betting lines on that, on the face-off there.
Ty McGee just got high and got high quick, and if you're a stopper and you don't match that height, you don't got a chance.
That's now 24 points for Ty McGee to lead all scorers. Take a look at the odds for Circa. The Slashers actually the favorite coming into the night. A 1.5 point favorite, meaning if you bet on them, they'd have to win by 2 or more to win your bet. That's Carson's coming through with the late block. Scott cannot finish at the rim. Slashers are getting their chances, just not finishing right now.
Yeah, Trey Landers, I mean, he's playing at such a high level tonight. If they can keep that up, Wrath have a great shot here.
It has been all Wrath to start this third quarter. They've opened up a 12-point lead. Lawbacher Has a cutter, and it's Smith with the alley-oop.
Yep, strong side wing cut to weak side wing cut. Slashers have been running that since season 2. Highly effective right there.
Ty McGee. Shot clock will continue to run. It's at 6. McGee, that is a 4-point shot. And tracked down by Helt.
Good hustle play there by Helt.
Helt, you know he can shoot from the corner. That would have been a 3 off the mark. McGee, offensive board. That one's no good. He gets it back. Shot clock reset to 12. 360 into the scoring bed. Throws it to himself off the rim. Tries to get it back. The Wrath are getting every loose ball right now. Helt behind his back. He'll find Slade. Shot clock's at 3. Slade directing traffic. Punched away by Karshins.
Great job by Karshins, just kind of staying poised right there at the stopper position. A lot of people cutting in front of him, a lot going on, and he comes up big.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, to have 3 loose ball retrievals in a row, and be able to stop all that, that almost never happens in slam ball.
On the other end, Tony Tom was blocked by Landers. And it has been all Wrath. They've got the momentum here in this third quarter. Misconnection there. Illegal contact on the gunner, so it's the Slashers' ball coming the other way. Amir Smith, at 6'7", enters into the scoring zone, will reset off the wall. Crosby punched away. He's getting a lot of attention. You can see a lot of teams are double teaming him now.
Yeah, I think the thought process there is if you take Tony out of the offense, then the Slashers are going to struggle to get into anything.
Once the player puts the ball on the deck, you can hit him. That's why you see Helt getting bounced around off the backboard, punched out by Karshins. Can the Slashers get on track here, down by 9? And that is a travel. Once you get on that island, your feet have got to stay still. Under a minute to play in this third quarter. That has been owned by the Wrath. And no, denied by Karshins again.
Long snapper coming up big, John.
I know that's your guy.
Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon.
The broadcaster jinx.
That's a tough play right there to defend. I mean, they were on the strong side, and he threw it all the way across for a weak side dive.
Laubacher with the pass, just a little too high for Crosby. Fans in the mosh pit, banging on the glass. They want to see an exciting ending here to this third quarter. 15 seconds to play. McGee's got to be aware of the shot clock. It's at 3. Slade, the kick out, and the Wrath just ate up too much time there. And the third quarter will wind down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they knew how much time. I don't think they knew the differential shot clock, game clock right there. I think they were looking at the game clock.
It was a 3-point lead at the half for the Wrath. They've now opened up a 12-point lead after 3. Slashers, they looked pretty, but the Wrath just too much coming from every angle. Slade punching it in.
I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. Slashers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Slashers. Here we go, Brad. Defense. Cut him off. Go, Brad. Good job, go.
Amir Smith is mic'd up tonight for the Slashers. We appreciate him putting on the mic so we can get all the sounds from on the court. Alongside John Dornbos, Brendan Kirsch, I'm John Schrippen. And we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Let's see what the Slashers have. Down by 12 here to start this fourth. Laubacher tries to throw it up for Smith. He finds a way to get the handle and throw it in for 2.
Yeah, that was a great set play there by the Slashers. That was designed and wonderfully executed.
Poked away by Tony Crosby, the Slashers, and he's thrown into the wall. Now he had left his feet entering into the tramps. The Slashers coaches are not happy. There was no violation there.
Yeah, I think their unhappiness is justified, but they get it back right there.
Laubacher with the jam. A 5-0 start here for the Slashers.
We're starting to see the Tony I want to see, and that's with a little bit of fire. And the team's going to feed off Tony Crosby, so he's coming out hot right now.
2 Wrath players on the island. That's a violation. The Slashers coming out hot here to start this 4th. Crosby enters into the scoring zone. We'll kick it out to Smith. Smith in the bottom bed, just throws it up for Lawbacher off the window. A 7-0 start for the Slashers, and a quick timeout by James Willis for the Wrath.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play right there. Bounce down to the weak side dive cut, and then a wing cut coming in on the opposite side. Perfect execution.
Coach, we talked earlier about the stopper play and stoppers that are used in the offense. Trey Landers, you don't see him coming up too often, but Carsons will see him come up here for the Slashers. How big of an advantage is that to have a stopper that can come in, execute on the offensive side, and still dominate on the defensive side?
It's a huge advantage. I mean, it really depends on the stopper. It can also be a risk. That's the problem, is if you bring your stopper up and you have a quick turnover or a quick stop, the other team is attacking nonstop, and you're basically giving them 3 points. So it is a risk, but if you've got a great stopper offensively, it makes a lot of sense.
Come on, man. Let's go. Guard the side trap.
So what do you think James Willis in that Wrath timeout told his guys? A 7-0 start here for the Slashers in the 4th.
Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, they've got a 5-point lead right now with 3:52 to play, and they got here through aggression, not being afraid to attack the rim, good team ball, good passing, and great stopper play. So I think he's telling them just keep doing what you're doing right now and watch the weak side wing cut on the Slashers. That's what they've been killing them on here in the last couple minutes.
I asked Dan Fletcher before the game what's been his frustration. He said, sometimes I just want to go out there and do it and show him how it's done. Have you ever once had that same approach where you're like, I wish I could just go out there and show him how to do it?
Not at all, because Stan Fletcher was one of the greatest of all time, and I'm a fat, balding, middle-aged man.
But you are the head coach for the only undefeated team in SlamBall.
That's right, we'll take it.
There you go. Ty McGee. And 2 players on the island again. The Wrath are crumbling here in this 4th.
Yeah, mental mistakes and violations can absolutely kill you. They've got to clean that up right now.
Smith just jams it in. They count that as a 2. He didn't put his hand on the rim. A 9-0 start to this 4th for the Slashers. Slade finally ends the run, lays it in for 2.
Greg Helt back at stopper for the Wrath. I think that's an interesting move with 3 minutes left.
Here's the stopper for the Slashers, and Carsons wins that battle.
We knew he would. I knew he would. That a baby, Carsons.
Let him go.
Slade one-on-one, and Carsons with the stop. Slade almost had the putback jam. Tony time! You better look out. He's going to put it on your head.
And that just tied it up, 53-53. Tony Crosby has entered the building.
Yeah, Wrath have got to do a better job defensively on the outskirts there.
Ty McGee with that bounce down, but a punch out by Carsons. McGee coming right back at him. You better stay ready, because McGee doesn't stop.
You can feel the energy in this building just completely shifted. These guys are going 100 miles an hour.
Oh my goodness! The tramp control by Tony Crosby.
Yeah, he is getting that bounce differential every single time down the court right now, and if he doesn't have it, they have a weak side wing cutter coming through.
Slade is double teamed. That means McGee is going to be open. Throws it to himself. On the island, he'll settle down. Bounces it off that backboard again, and skying high for the jam.
That's unbelievable.
The Wrath up by 3. It's tied up, which means possession goes to the defense. Wrath, they get it back.
Now this is a big possession right here for the Wrath. If they can go ahead and get a 3 right here, they go up 6 with 140 left or less.
Wait a minute. No, they're saying it's the Slashers' ball. All right. Well, here comes Lawbacher. The kick out to Crosby. And Crosby slams it in to tie the game at 59.
Yeah, exterior defense right there just needs to be better for the Wrath. The Slashers are getting in the slam zone way too easy here late in the game, and this is where conditioning becomes a factor, John.
And remember, running clock, you can only stop it for a face-off and a timeout. The Wrath have already used their only timeout here in this 4th. Shot clock's at 1, and they don't get a shot off. The clock continues to tick. It's under a minute to play in the 4th. We're all tied at 59.
That's a big mental mistake right there, not having shot clock awareness when you're tied up 59-59 with less than a minute.
Tony Crosby through the legs. Just disrespectful. Here comes McGee. Can he answer? Yes, he does. The jam of his own ties it back at 62.
Now, can the Wrath lock down defensively on the outside? That's the question.
A timeout called by the Slashers. You can tell these guys are gassed. 32.9 seconds to play, and we're all tied at 62.
Wait. All right. Okay, come here. Let's go red. Let's go red. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Nate is in. Let's go red. It was black ball. Even he said it was black ball. Hey man, come on. Shit! Everybody, one side. Hey, Tony! Don't waste time. Let's go 2 for 1 in case you missed this.
So you heard that last piece of advice there by Stanley Fletcher Jr. 2 for 1. Describe what that means, Coach.
Yeah, so shot clock's at 14 right now. He wants a shot to go up here in the next 14 seconds so they can get the ball back and get another possession after this.
Let's see if they do it. Listen to their coach. Can they get the 2 for 1 here? Cutters all over the place. Smith down there with Landers, and he puts it in. That's a 2. The Slashers with a 2-point lead. Shot clock's turned off. Wrath down by 2. McGee gets by Crosby. He's on the island. What kind of creativity can he come up with? Clock continues to tick. Down to 4. McGee, what are you going to do? Oh, it's blocked by Carshins at the buzzer. No good.
The long snapper coming up with the game-winning block. Carshins coming up huge when they needed it. Slashers 64, Wrath 62, baby. You saw it. Carson said, McGee, not today.
That was such a big stop and such a big moment for Carshins. I think he might have grown up there right in front of our eyes.
A huge stop against one of the best players in the league in a moment that the team wanted it in McGee's hand.
Game on the line.
And let's bring in our 4th member of our crew, Sean Inches Jackson, who's with Tony Crosby II.
Wow, what an exciting game. Tony, 17 points. You, Ty McGee, y'all going back and forth battling. At the last seconds, and you guys put it through with your stopper, man.
Yes, sir.
Explain it to me.
Hey, shout out Nate. He's our backup stopper, but he's coming in playing big minutes. He be killing us in practice, so I know he got it in him. He's the best stopper in the league, one of them.
Great, guys. Great game, man. Hey, you got the next game coming up soon, man. You guys fight the battle for that playoff spot.
Gotta lock in. We're going to be ready to go, though. Slashers on top.
There you go, Slashers.
So the Slashers pull out a thriller. They win it by 2. And that was a big win because the Slashers came in 4th place. And they'll now jump the Wrath for 3rd place. And they move on to the main event. We got 2 more games coming up here in Vegas. It's all slam ball. Come on back.